Okay, part 2 of the DoorDash thing. I went ahead and got my thing that I was telling you about. Okay, see this? This is just one of like a lunch box, okay? But I was able to, when I got cup holders, I try to save the cup holders for times when, sometimes you go to places and they're like, I'm sorry, we just don't have any cup holders, right? And it really helps. Like if I have 2 drinks or more, I want to have a cup holder. Like I will request a cup holder for 2 drinks because it makes it so much easier. But look, this one is from Chick-fil-A. Like see, 4 from Chick-fil-A. And I like the Sonic ones. Like I love to save those 2 because they're really easy. But you know, I've got, back there I have those, you know, 4 ones like McDonald's gives you. And here's the 2 that I got, you know, and so this thing holds 6, and I think that's kind of good because then I can put it on the floor if you need more cup holders. That's what I'm talking about. Like if you end up with 6 drinks, okay, this will come in handy, or if your car doesn't have that many cup holders. So that's just the thing I'm doing. Like you said, I'm, you know, trying to find different things that work for me, and but yeah, you know, because. So like, okay, so you get on, you pick your order, like I said, you know, and then it's easy. You know, you can get directions. Now, okay, I know DoorDash, I believe had their own one, but you can go into the app somehow and change it to Apple or Google, because I have mine set to, it'll automatically go to Apple Maps for DoorDash. Grubhub uses, you know, whatever too, because I don't know, I always used, you know, Apple Maps for Grubhub, and it goes, you know, when I hit directions, it picks it, you know, I'm assuming I picked it when I first started Grubhub, but yeah, I wish I could remember how to do that exactly, but you know, that's not too hard, but yeah, like I said, you pick you can repick it to change the apps if you don't want to use the DoorDash one, because sometimes I don't think the DoorDash one's very good. So I have mine where it uses Apple, and then you go pick up your order. Oh, sorry, I just saw something on my thing and I'm like, oh, distraction, right? But you go in there, you have your phone with you, you know, like I said, it's super easy. Just follow those steps instructions. Like it'll say, you say, I've arrived at the store. And then I like to look at what I'm picking up, because DoorDash shows you, like even if it just says 3 items, you can click on the side little thingy and it'll list them, so you know if there's drinks and this and that, and it tells you if there's drinks usually, which I love. And okay, I like that Starbucks, they usually have their stuff bagged, which is really helpful. And so I mean, they're an easy one to pick up for, just like McDonald's and Burger King. And like I said, you can tell if the bag's too heavy, because drinks can be heavy. Like there's times I will carry the bottom of them, you know, because I don't want it to tear. I don't trust it. Popeyes has the bags, and you know, but yeah, you'll see that there's some restaurants, they, like Chick-fil-A used to give you big bags, which they did today because I had a big order. They actually put mine in bags, but they don't normally do this. So sometimes they'll give you like 3 bags. That's why I like to look at Chick-fil-A's kind of to see if I'm gonna need to bring one of these bags in there to put my stuff in, so to make it easier on me, you know. And because a lot of times they don't want to give you bags. They used to, but I think they're trying to save money. And yeah, so you end up with like, sometimes you end up with like 4 little bags, you know. Try carrying that out of the store with your phone and everything else. And then, you know, I always try to let them see it, but they'll ask you, oh, can I see you confirm it? And like with DoorDash, because remember that some of these apps are different. Like McDonald's, they like to use don't give the name, you give there's a code, right? And the code, you use the last 3 digits, like A05, or, you know, it could be ABC, you know, it varies what the last 3 digits are, and that's how they determine which one is your order. And it'll be on the receipt too, so you can see that, you know, the last 3 numbers on that item ordered down. But it's further down, you'll have to look for the number. And where like Uber will use the name of the person and ask for you to give the, you know, get the number from them, which is basically from the bag. And there's 2 numbers on the Uber bags, so you have to be careful which one it is, because it's actually, you know, kind of like the DoorDash number, you know, it's specific. And but if they want the actual number for the Uber instead of the name, I've given them the first 3 numbers. Like I'll click on it and say, oh, it says these 3 numbers here, where, you know, in the next 2 you're supposed to put in yourself. But so they can look at that way too, because that works also for Uber. And most stores, they want you to go in, you know, and until only door, you know, the drive-through is open, then you have to go through the drive-through. But trying to think here, like I said, it's really easy, you know. Oh God, like this, I know it's not much help. I'm like, oh my gosh. You'll see what I'm saying, because like I said, they do step by step, and they're so easy. But like I said, the most important thing I feel like is watching the mileage and the amount, you know, and deciding what your minimum is going to be. Like, there's a lot of people that will not take less than $7, okay, you know, for an order. And that's your choice, like I said, because you'll see offers for $3 and things like that. And it doesn't matter what, you know, don't worry about your acceptance rate. You can decline them anyway. Guys, there's an order. I gotta go check it out.